Hey guys, we made it to the shelter and this is the situation, and I will definitely be explaining this more thoroughly when we get on the trail. But there's still people sleeping here, so not in the shelter but near the shelter, so I'm gonna give the rest of the story later. Roar, can you tell us what you're excited about this morning?
Okay, so Sushi Roll wants me to do a demonstration of how we use Starbucks beer. But what's cool about today's Starbucks beer is it's different from the type that we've had. It's a different blend that we've had on the whole entire trail, and it's like 3.5 months in. So we're very excited. It's Pike Place today. We've had Colombian. All you do, very simple, it just says "Tur" here. That's all you do. Tur, put it in, hot water, whatever you fancy. If you like your coffee strong, add another one. If you don't like it strong, only use half. Ooh, we're boiling, we're boiling, we're boiling. Oh, oh.
I kind of caught that on video.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What a wreck.
So I promised you guys that I would come back and talk about the tent in the shelter. And the tent was ours. Our tent was in the shelter. That is a first for us. We've never put our tent up in the shelter before. First reason, because it's not a freestanding tent. And second reason, because of course we don't want to take up space in the shelter that could be used for somebody else. So, but I'm going to explain why we were set up in the shelter. Last night, our original plan was to get to the shelter, but then when it was getting late, we said, okay, maybe we're not going to make it to the shelter, so we planned on camping, but we couldn't find any campsites anywhere, so then we had to change back to the original plan of going to the shelter. We got there after dark and we tried to look around for a place to put up the tent, but there wasn't anywhere. They were all full by the shelter. So we looked in the shelter and it was empty, and we said, okay, well, I guess we have no other choice but to stay in the shelter. So we set up all our stuff and laid down in the shelter and just hoped for no mosquitoes. Well, we didn't get so lucky. There were tons of mosquitoes that they were really, really bad, and we did everything we could to try and keep them away from us. We were wearing our bug nets around our faces and we covered ourselves up in our sleeping bags, but they were attacking and we were boiling and sweating because there was just no airflow. So I said, okay, I can't take this anymore. And I had a minor freak out. And I said, okay, let's try and put the tent up. It's not a freestanding tent. So this is, you know, this was going to be a difficult situation. But we managed to tie the tent up by the guy lines to anything that we could find. Hooks and our backpacks hanging on the pegs on the walls, and just had a really saggy tent and threw in our sleeping bags and our sleeping pads, climbed in, and at least we were inside a bug net, and we hoped that nobody else would come to the shelter really late because it was after 10 o'clock already, and we figured we wouldn't be having nobody else would come to the shelter and we wouldn't be in the way. And nobody else did come to the shelter, so that was great. And we were in the bug net, but we could hear the mosquitoes buzzing around outside the tent. So we were very lucky that we were inside the tent. And it was just kind of one of those comical nights of having the tent set up in the shelter. And, you know, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Roar says it was my best idea yet. And it was an idea that was created out of pure desperation because we were being attacked, absolutely attacked, and I said, I'm not gonna sleep. I wouldn't have slept at all.
Sushi Roll, will you give us a Privy review?
Whoa. Okay. So, this is the Privy.
Alright.
And I was just thinking that it's the best Privy on the trail, like you were saying. So,
what features make for the best Privy on the trail?
well, it's light in there.
Yeah.
So it helps with its light.
Sunlight.
It doesn't really smell all that bad.
It doesn't. You can actually breathe.
Let's see, it's clean. It's really clean. I mean, look up into the eaves.
Oh, I'm gonna look in the eaves.
Yes, there's no junk.
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. There's even a trash can.
And the wood chips.
Yeah, it's a really nice Privy.
So, how many poops would you give this Privy?
5 out of 5. Okay, a little info about our Privy review. Well, just wanted to say, give proper credit to someone who in the first month of the trail or so would write Privy reviews in all the trail logs. And instead of giving stars for ratings, they would give poops for ratings. So if it was a really good Privy, they'd give like 4 or 5 poops. And that is, yeah, proper credit to that person who made up the Privy reviews, and that's what ours was based on. Oh, by the way, I have to take off half a poop because there wasn't a view from the Privy. And there have been a few really great Privy views. This one didn't have a view, but it had everything else. All the thumbs ups for all the other features of the Privy. But when you can get a Privy with a really good view, like you're looking over a mountain, for example, at the Over Mountain Shelter, the big red barn, there was an amazing view from the Privy. It's another hot one. Hey guys, this trail leads to the Stairway to Heaven. It's almost a 1,000-foot climb in less than a mile. It's gonna be kind of like Jacob's Ladder, it sounds like. So we're about to do it. It's hot, but we just stopped at a really nice. We stopped at a really nice little place. It was a little farm called Heaven's Gate. Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill Farm.
Something. Heaven Hill Farm or something like that. It's just off the trail. Point one off the trail at New Jersey 94.
Is it?
97, New Jersey.
You really remember that? That's good. I have no idea.
I can't remember. Anyway, little farm, cute. They've got like local produce, amazing peaches. We got some orange juice and a Coke and a peach each. Anyway, we're heading up Stairway to Heaven. See you up there.